Where did COVID-19 come from? Some think it originated in this Wuhan wet market, while others think it comes from bats. But could it be possible that COVID-19 was made in a lab? Is it true that COVID-19 is an engineered virus? Or did it accidentally escape? This is What If, and here's what would happen if COVID-19 was made in a lab. The lab that COVID-19 could have escaped from is the Wuhan Institute of Virology. This lab deals with some of the most dangerous viruses in the world, and if it did happen, it wouldn't be the first time for one of these labs. The SARS virus escaped from high-level containment labs in Beijing multiple times. But is this lab really where COVID-19 came from? Well, first let's talk about why people think COVID-19 originated at this lab. The first COVID-19 case was initially found in this Wuhan wet market. And since this wet market is just 12 kilometers from the Wuhan Virology Center, this lab is really the only one in question. Not to mention that it's the global epicenter of coronavirus research in bats. Since it's suspected COVID-19 came from bats, there's been speculation that the virus could have been engineered and then accidentally escaped from the building. And if the world were able to confirm that this actually happened, the consequences would be pretty scary. Relations between China and the rest of the world could start to get incredibly hostile. But hopefully, we don't need to worry about COVID-19 starting any wars. That's because, no, COVID-19 was not made in a lab. And it didn't find a way to mysteriously sneak out of the virology center. The Wuhan Institute of Virology was looking for something similar to COVID-19, a bat disease that was harmful to humans. If researchers found anything like that, they would have published their scientific results immediately. They wouldn't have waited for it to escape from their labs. And it was originally reported that the first cases of COVID-19 happened in the Wuhan wet market, but that might not be the case. It was later determined that the first cases had no connection to the animal market. So, it is possible that someone outside of Wuhan contracted the virus and brought it into the animal market, where it would be easy for the virus to spread. But that doesn't mean that any of this was intentional. It's safe to say that COVID-19 was not genetically engineered. If it were, there would be signs of manipulation in the genome data. And thousands of scientists all around the world have looked at the genome of the virus and haven't found any evidence of engineering. If there had been any tampering, it would be pretty obvious. Scientists would need to create their own backbone for the DNA, which can be detected pretty quickly. Not only that, but being able to create a virus that spreads disease is nearly impossible. And that's because scientists don't know enough about what makes a virus pathogenic just yet. And viruses are extremely complicated. In order to be able to manufacture one, scientists would need to perfectly construct every single molecule in the virus. Just one tiny aspect of the virus altered, and it could end up wildly different. So it's safe to say that COVID-19 was not made in a lab. Since the Spanish flu in the 1900s, scientists have predicted that humanity will go through another worldwide pandemic. As humanity destroys natural habitats and makes contact with wildlife, it becomes more likely that we'll contract diseases from them. And instead of blaming China or other countries, maybe we can take this opportunity to look at ourselves. Maybe countries can use this as a reminder to invest in things like public health care, more hospitals, paid sick leave, and the protection of wildlife. Because with the way the world operates, pandemics are almost inevitable. We just need to figure out a better way of handling them. One way would be for everyone in the world to wear masks. But we'll leave that story for another What If.